Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lisa and this is Southern Yankee Designs, a home improvement channel that explores DIY projects, paint tutorials, and money-saving decorating tips and ideas for your home. If you're always looking for fresh new decorating tips and tricks on a budget, then click that subscribe button and click that bell to be notified every time I've got a new video uploaded, and they'll all relate to you and your home. Today I'm in my studio making samples for a few clients, and I wanted to share this really cool faux brick technique that I do. It's simple, it's realistic, and man, is it awesome. I can't wait to get started, so let's go. As you know from my other videos, I like to use the Sherwin-Williams sample quartz. You pay a lot less for a quart of great paint. I'm starting off with the color Tavern Taupe. I'm rolling on an even layer. This will be my grout color. Feel free to use whatever color you would like for your project. Keep in mind that very little of this color will be showing when this project is done. Here are the supplies you are going to need. I will list everything in the description box below as well. I started measuring to find my center point. Then I measured every 3 inches from my center point. Repeat the same measurements on all sides. For example, if you were doing a large wall, you're going to want to find the center point from the ceiling to the floor and then measure 3 inches all the way down to the floor from the center point, and then all the way up to the ceiling from the center point. Repeat the same method on all sides of your surface. Place your tape on the measure marks horizontally and then vertically. If I'm doing a large wall or large surface, I go ahead and I measure everything first, and then I'll use a level before I tape. It's much easier that way. In this case, I'm doing a sample, so all I really need to do is just mark with a pencil where my measurements are and go from there. Use a razor to remove sections of tape. It always helps me when I remove every other row first, and then occasionally I'll step back and make sure my pattern is looking good. Now it's time to spread the joint compound over your entire surface, about 1/4 of an inch thick and even as you can at least. I'm using a Japanese scraper. Feel free to use any trowel that you're comfortable with. When I'm doing this finish on a large wall, I like to do small sections at a time. That way my joint compound won't dry on me. While the joint compound is still wet, I like to go in with a brush. In this case, I'm using a 4-inch chip brush, and I'm just going to stipple areas all around, and this is going to create pits and texture for my brick. Now I'm going to take my Japanese scraper and I'm going to lightly smooth this joint compound in one direction, side to side, keeping some of those pits and texture. This is going to give this brick finish a more realistic look. When I'm done smoothing it, I am going to pull the tape. You want to make sure you pull all of the tape off while the joint compound is still wet. When you pulled all the tape off, let it dry overnight. Now that everything's dry, I'm going to sand lightly and clean all the dust off and get ready for the next step. Now it's time to add some color. The first color I'm going to be using is Van Dyke Brown by Sherwin-Williams. I'm going to make a mixture of 50% water with 50% paint. I want this mixture to be very runny, almost like stain. I'm applying this mixture with a chip brush. When I have everything covered, I'm going to take a clean, slightly damp rag and dab off the excess paint. Again, if I were doing a large wall, I would work in sections. I have more control of the paint that way. I don't want the paint to dry too quick before I have a chance to work with it. After I remove the excess paint, I'm going to let this layer dry before I go on to my next step. The next color I'm going to be using is called Black Fox. It's also by Sherwin-Williams. I'm going to make the same kind of mixture as I did the previous color, 50% water and 50% paint. I want it to be very runny and liquidy, like a stain. I'm going to apply this mixture in random areas. This is just going to give more depth to this brick. I'm going to take a slightly damp rag and I'm going to blend and remove some of the excess paint. After everything dried, I had one more step that I had to do to this sample, but for a client's privacy, because their name is involved, I chose to skip the next step and not include it in this video. When I finished everything, I rolled on a clear protectant coat, which is not unfortunately included in this video, but I did post a picture of what I used. I just rolled an even layer on, and again, everything will be listed in the description box below. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this project as much as I did. I will list all of the details in the description box below. Feel free to leave any comments or anything you would like to see in my upcoming videos. Until next time, I'll see you in my next video.